So now it's time to change it to black and white. I just want to point out real quick that SolidWorks is not required for this workflow, this alternate multicolor workflow. You can use whatever software. You could use Microsoft Paint to do this alternate workflow. Truly could. Just that I'm using SolidWorks to create my graphics, but you could create a grayscale graphic in any software and to use this 3D printing multicolor workflow. Number 1 or number 2. So anyway, back to the action. Hello, thanks for watching. Please help to stimulate the algorithm by tickling its underbelly via the thumbs up button. And also please consider subscribing, sharing with your friends, commenting. Any comments are welcome. Good, bad, ugly, advice, complimentary, ridicule. It's all good. I just hope you're enjoying the show and help for other people to find it. Thank you again. Now, so interestingly, if I, let's see, default display state. Okay. I'm making fun of it because it didn't work properly last time. Added display state. So now, grayscale. If I change this, it shouldn't change it in the other one. But it did on the last time I did it, and I'm not sure why. I'm just going to delete that. That's not a good example. I'm just going to delete this color and switch back and forth between display states and see what happens. Okay. This time it worked. Why did it not work last time? The only thing I could think of is because I changed to grayscale on the color of the item, but that really shouldn't matter. Well, let's see what happens. So for one thing, I need to decide what layers I want, in what order I want to print each color. So I want to do a print screen and create and put this in a PowerPoint slide here. What was that? Oh, that's not PowerPoint. That is my video editor. Evidimux. Alright, here's my PowerPoint. Control M for a new slide. Control V for paste. And I want this gray to be the highest color. Just because I don't want it set back or like valleys. I want it to be as they say, proud of the rest. So I need a text box. So this is going to be 10. I counted 10. I hope I didn't mess the count up because then I'll have to rearrange these. So that's going to be 10. And I was going to go like 9 and 8 for the blue and the yellow. But I'm not. You know what? Because I want them to both. I don't want the piping to be more exaggerated on one than the other. I do want them to be basically near the tallest, but I don't want the piping. I want the piping to look pretty uniform between the two. So, to that end, I'm going to not make those 9 and 8. I'm going to make this guy 9. And this guy 8. Now this guy is also 10. And ooh, I just realized that this black shadow is going to be like rainbow shadow. If I make it black, it's going to be partially black, but then there's going to be rainbow under the rest. But that's fine. It'll be what it'll be. All right. And so that we'll just make this a 1 just because I can, because it's right there. And so 10, 9, 8. Let's say 7. 7, I type 6. I tend to think of it as the higher the number that the mind perceives it as, the later said. Now, saying that, I'm contradicting myself because I have these, it's 3D Creator, not Creator 3D, and I have these as higher than the rest of the letters, but I'm going to say just relative to each other. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much that'll really work out that way perception wise. So now if I look at this example that I made, the test example, you can't see it, but I want that R to be pretty high, so I'm going to call that 5. And call the green 4. Now I'll call the green 3. 4. 3. 2. What's 1? I counted 10 before. Did I? What did I count twice? Am I missing something, or did I count something twice? Maybe I mistook the black shadow for the black background. So there's actually 9, not 10. And I'm just going to keep that in mind. Not a big fan of these over-ear headphones. They're getting uncomfortable. Never been a fan of the over-ear headphones. I always was more of an earbuds guy. I hope there's nothing going wrong with this recording, because it's pretty long. And I'd hate to have it all go away. And I've had that happen plenty of times. So let's take a break here. Okay, so I have now numbered these colors, and evidently I miscounted. Do I want to do anything with these shadows? I could. I could just make them black. But it would only be on and that would be kind of consistent if I do it on the R, but I wouldn't be doing it on this D. I could do it on the D, but in the logo I don't have it as black. So the background's going to be black. I have to keep that in mind. I mean, the other one I did, yeah, I think I'm going to do that other render thing that I mentioned in order to preserve those edges. I'm just looking at my test sample to see how that worked out on the as far as these edge lines here coming through on the print. I can kind of see them. There's just sort of a little bit of a valley in the print. It's actually not bad as it is, and I'm almost tempted to leave it as it is, but I want to make them a little wider. And so I think my render idea will work for that. But first, before I even try that, I need to create the grayscale anyway. So alright, so I skipped number 1. Oh, no. Yeah, because black is 1, red's 2, green's 3, orange is 4, white is 5. yellow 6, blue 7. This orange, this 4 is actually a sparkly yellow. Ah, I said it. No, it's a metal flake yellow. It's like a metal flake dark yellow. And this is a metal flake dark orange. And then 9 is going to be the gold and silver bicolor. And 10 is going to be the gray. Yeah, that works. Interestingly, though, this R is very gray here. But it's a darker. How does that look in there? Do I want to make that the gray? I might actually do that. I think I'm actually going to do that. I think I'm also going to, now that I think about it, if I remember, I am going to do a narrower line width, just for a little more precision, because you can tune the line width that you print with. And on the original one of these that I did, where the lines come to a point, where the shapes come to a point, they are a little bit ugly. And so I think I'm going to narrow my line width a little bit, and that should make things a little cleaner also. So yeah, this is going to be 10. Whoa. This will be 10. This will be 10. This will be 10. That should look pretty cool, actually. And I mean, do I want to do anything with this? This is actually red, not orange. I don't know. Oh, I know I was showing orange because I was messing with the display states just to test it. But that's going to be very low. It's actually the second color, so there's barely going to be anything here. The green shadow and highlight I'm not going to mess with. Same with the 4. And those are already accounted for. Okay, I guess that covers it all. Yeah, so onto changing to grayscale. Alright, so I will start with the shadows on the thank you for. It's going to be black. And it already is. What a bargain. And that's already great. Although, so if I have 10 colors, so what happens is, so for example, if I go into here, and I want the gray to be high, so I'm no longer going for CoreXY. Now I'm changing over to grayscale. So this, even though it's going to be gray, I'm going to make it white here, so that way it is the highest elevation, and I'm going to make the white a strategic gray color. Whoa! Make the white a strategic gray color to get it to whatever height I want that. And so basically, I have 10 colors, and I have 255 on the color scale, 255 gradients on the color scale, or on the grayscale, I should say. And so I basically need to put them 25 apart, each color 25 apart. And so what I mean by that is, so if I go to here, just as an example, it should be 0, 0, 0, and let's see what it shows. And it is 0, 0, 0, these three numbers here. And if I went here, the white would be 255, but I'll just show it here. Where do I define this? Actually, I'm going to go into, rather than changing them all that way, I should be able to go into here and polished steel. I guess we're polished steel there. So I'm going to change that to 255s. So I'm going to edit appearance. And I can just go, I could either type in 255 3 times here, or I could just go to Grayscale. I wonder if that's what messed up my... That could be what messed up my my display states. Let's try that. So do I now lose my display state functionality? Okay, so the red changes back, but the grayscale one doesn't. That's what it is. Okay. Evidently, and I'm not going to take the time to confirm this, but I'm sort of confirming here, is that each color, to change display states, evidently I can't go between color and grayscale, because it just, I guess each surface or feature or whatever has to be the same color scale across all display states. I'm projecting there, and somebody can confirm that if they really want to, but I'm convinced already that that's the case based on recent experience. All right, so that said, I am going to not change anything to grayscale. I'm just going to type in the numbers manually. That way I can switch back and forth between color and grayscale in this file. So I'm going to edit appearance. I'm going to put it back to color. Back to standard, I should say. And this will be 255s across the board. So that's interesting. I can change it to grayscale, and then back, and then set the number, and then go back, and it'll back to standard, and it'll do that. But I bet I already lost my differentiation between the display states by doing that, and that's worth checking, worth confirming. Yeah, so the thank you for is not changing between display states. So I again confirmed my further projection of how that works. So that's 1 and 10 I have defined. So let's see, what's 9? 9 is the highlight on the 250 subs. Is that? Yeah, 9 and 8. Okay, that makes sense. So 9 is going to be this highlight. And was that feature? Yes, and so this should make sense to do it this way. That should be all of those. No pun intended. It's very olive colored. And it's all of those. Ha ha ha. All right, and so 255 minus what did I say? 25 is going to be 220. Well, that was annoying. Well, why are you doing that? It's oops, 220. That was annoying. Maybe if it does it again, maybe I'll explain what was annoying. Okay, so that did do that for all of those surfaces. Not all of those surfaces. All right, so this guy is going to be 8. And I'll just do this way. Is that this guy? And edit appearance. And so 220 minus 25 would be 195. And so what I was annoyed by earlier, and it might have been because my mouse was over here, I'm hoping, and if I put my mouse over here, pointer, if I go 195 tab, oh, see that? I go tab, and it should be highlighting it, but it's unhighlighting it. That is annoying, because then I have to, that's that many more clicks. That is annoying. All right, well, if that's the case, I'm going to Control C, Control V, Control V. Well, I don't know why it's refusing to highlight. Okay. And then 7 is going to be 170. And 7 is the blue. And so we're going to make this edit appearance. I'm going to call these 170. Copy. Paste. 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 That's annoying. Paste. Alright, this might actually go pretty quickly, except for Wait, that's supposed to be 255. That's right. Now remember, I have to adjust the ambient lighting. And so what I did, quick explanation here. These colors, when I set them up initially, I wasn't happy with their shadows and the tint of the color, and so to mitigate that, I made them basically lights, and I gave them a luminosity. Basically, made them lights, and but that is messing with. So like the white wasn't white enough, for example, and so I made it a light, and so now it's more. Now it's truly white. Whereas this, I made it white, but because of the lighting in the scene, it shows up as gray. And to overcome that, which I already did in the previous, the first workflow for this multicolor thing, I went into my lighting. So I'm going to click here for lighting, and if I drop this down, and I turn this light off in SolidWorks, you see things get darker, and I turn this light off in SolidWorks, you see things get darker. See, now this white, and let me go into this material and turn off the light, as I mentioned. I don't really need to, because I'm going to change it anyway, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to show you in advanced here, and illumination, and then luminous intensity. I said luminosity, basically the same thing, but I gave it a number instead of 0. That made it a light. So now when I change this to 0 and hit enter, that R is going to get darker. That R is going to get darker. There it goes. One other change. I'm getting blue edges on some things, and that's or I thought it was. I don't see. Now I'm not seeing the blue edges. All right, I'll get back to that if that's the case. And last but not least, I need to edit the ambient lighting to get me back to where I want to be. So I edit this light, and I put the ambient lighting all the way up, and that makes the white truly white, and that makes everything. There's no shading. Now everything is there's no shadows because the ambient light is full on everywhere. And so that eliminates any gradient, and that's a big part of how to make more precision. I like that. Thank you for the way it looks right now. The contrast of that is really cool. And I interrupted myself, and I forgot what I was saying. That's okay. So now I am ready to sort of. I have. I need to change these guys all to white, like this guy, and so I'm going to copy this. And I am going to paste to this feature, and I'm going to paste to this feature, paste to this feature, and what was where else was I putting white? Oh, the gray. Yes, down here and in here. So I want to paste again. Oops, I'm going to paste again to this feature, to the surface. Paste. To the feature. Well, I'll find out soon enough if that's correct. So that is all of the white stuff. Okay. And that's all the 10s. So then the 9s are the... I already did that, right? Yeah, so it's 255, 220, 195, and 170. Why is this? Oh, because I didn't turn the light off on this. I also have this set as a light, so I need to again turn off the luminous intensity. I believe that's what it called it. Yes, change that to 0, and also on the 3. Yep, that guy, and advanced, and illumination, and luminous intensity 0. So that should make things much better. So that is now gray, which is what it should be. And that should also be here. I think feature. Yes. And this guy. Body. And this guy. Body. Nice. Okay. That was the blue, which was, I believe, 170. And so 6 is going to be 145. So change this to 145. Now I'm hoping that the algorithm, if that's the right word, that Creality Print Slicer uses to convert light to dark as height, I hope that conversion is linear. If not, it's really going to bite me. And now I say that, I'm slightly scared because the test went a little bit goofy and I'm not sure exactly what went wrong. I think it's most likely user malfunction, my own fault, in other words. But I'm not 100% sure of that, because now that I think about it, I had that thought about the linear previously, and now that I think of multiple things in this at the same time, I wonder if that was my problem and not my error. Hopefully it's my error, so that it works correctly this time if I don't make an error. Okay, so that was, what did I say, 145, and that was the yellow, and so 5 is going to be 120, so that's actually our white. It's going to be 120. And let's just paste just to make sure that's 145. Yep, 120. Copy, Control C, Control V, Control V. Alright, we're getting darker and darker, looking good. And then 4 is this guy. Right, this guy. And oops. So 4 is going to be 95. 95. It's just quicker to type 95. I can put my keys right on, my fingers right on the keys. 950 doesn't cut it. 95. And 3 is green. I kind of wanted that to be taller, but that's fine. 3 is going to be green. And so that would be 70. And 70. 70. Okay. So I guess this part does apply. And you know what? I'm glad I took that break, because I should separate that into 2 different segments. And yeah, okay. Yeah, good. I'm glad I separated that. I mean, I could have separated it manually anyway, but I did pause in between there to just basically to make sure that that the record was successful. Okay. Anyway, so 4, 3, 2, and what was 3? See, not pasting. I don't have a check for that now. Should have to go by memory. So what did I say? Well, I have to look again. So this was 70. So that's going to be 45. Getting a little tired. So it's going to be 45. 45. 45. I almost want to make the black 20. I mean, did I mess up on my math, or is that just the way it worked out? So I knew it was like 255, and if I did 25, that's by times 10, although I'm bookending it, and so I guess that's why I'd be at the beginning and at the end. And so I gained 5 plus 25, so 30, something like that. Did I mess it up? So I'd have 255, 220, 195, 170, 145, 120, 95, 70, 45, and then that would be 20. Okay, yeah, that's what, and I said I had basically no, I don't know. I'm slightly confused, but I think we're good. But why is okay? So that's dark, but not black. And did I say I was going to make some of that black? I made that R shadow silver. Nah, I don't want to mess with any of the other stuff. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? And so I pictured it in my head this way, but now I think about it, it wouldn't have done it this way. So this shadow, I'm going to make the 20, and then the background, I'm going to make the 1 or 0. Yeah. I like that. So wherever. Alright, so let's go. That's 45, and I'm going to call this 20, just to raise it up, if that doesn't make sense to you. So it's going to raise that up, this shadow, off the background, so it'll actually show up as not just black. It'll show up as black, but it'll be raised up a bit, so it'll be differentiated from the background. So to get there, that's the feature? Yes. And so I'm going to call that 20, 20, 20. Now I'm just going to confirm that it got all the way across. I think it should. That should be 20s. Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually doing 11 sort of steps, but 10 colors. All right. This should be pretty good. Now the other thing I wanted to do in SolidWorks, and now I'm going back to SolidWorks, and I guess I'm jumping around a little bit, but I guess if you're doing it in SolidWorks, if you're following along in SolidWorks, and then you follow the rest of the videos in the series, it'll still work out fine in your workflow to do this now. So I'm going to hit S for save, and I need to, so before I didn't render this, so before I just did, I need to change the background to black, Alt TP enter for options, and then colors, and then edit to black. Of course, I have to have, no, that's not the viewport background. This is the viewport background. Oh, it's down here. So in background appearance, it's, see, they're mixing their terminology. So this should say viewport background appearance, because it's what it is. This is background, and that's not what they're referencing. This background is not the same as this background. This background is actually the viewport background, which says here. Now, if you're not confused yet, I'll say it again, and then you will be. So anyway, I could choose a gradient, I could choose an image file, I could choose use document scene, but I'm going to say plain in black. Alright, so that gives me my contrast. I can see the shadow very slightly. I hope that the Creality Print Slicer tool works well with that. I suspect it may. I hope it's not. I hope it's linear. That's all I can say. And what so before I would just save it as a bitmap, but then that leaves me with these edge lines, very thin, and they're noticeable. Yeah, I'm just gonna make them a little more noticeable. That's all. A little more noticeable. Hopefully, hopefully it works out that way. Hopefully it works out that way. Okay, and to do that, I'm actually going to do a rendering instead of just saving as a bitmap, and that allows me to add heavier outlining. So S for save. Then I'm going to go to my add-ins. Alt T D. Add-ins. Enter. Did that work? No. Alt T. I never do it this way for this. I do it with a lot of these. That's interesting that doesn't work. Oh, I probably had to hit D twice. I'm not digging the over-ear headphones, aggravating my ears. But it is what it is. I like the sound from this boom mic is so much better than. Man, I just spent way too much money on those wireless DJI mics. It's like $300 for a pair of mics, wireless mics, and I figured it's gonna be great quality, blah blah blah. This cheap headset has so much better audio than those. I mean, granted, that's down on my shirt, whereas this is next to my mouth. But this is the way to go. And I do want to buy a better one, but I'm not going to go into that. Maybe I will. I'm having a hard time with my new phone because it doesn't have a headphone jack, so I can't really use this headset very well. And if I use a Bluetooth dongle headset, and I tried 2 different ways to use Bluetooth. I used a Bluetooth speaker, microphone, and I used a Bluetooth dongle with this headset. And both of them, I couldn't get the phone video to record from the headset microphone. It kept recording the video from the phone microphone, which defeats the whole purpose of using a headset. So I'm a little bit mildly distraught that I spent $1,000 for the camera on that phone, and I can't use it to record quality audio yet. And I don't want to just buy another Bluetooth headset and find out that that one does the same thing. Like I know it'll use the headset microphone for calls, but it's evident to me that it's quite possible that for video it would not use that microphone. Quite annoying. Okay, so let's do that render. I added the add-in to add the PhotoView 360. Now, newer SolidWorks has a different renderer. I'm not sure if it also has the PhotoView. I think it might also have the PhotoView 360. PhotoView 360 works pretty fine. And I have other softwares that use better renderers than this, and likely the other SolidWorks one. I don't remember what they call that. I can either do it in Rhino or Blender if I want. But I'm just going to do this here. Final render. No. I need to go to my options. So let's hit render tools and options. Yeah, options. And how big do I want this thing? That's pretty big, but that's fine. It'll be good quality. But contour cartoon rendering, that's what I want. And line thickness. Render only with contours, render contours, and the solid model. That's what I want. How thick do I want these? I'm not sure. Edit line color. Yeah, black is good, I guess. Let's call it a... Let's see what one does. Can I do decimals here? Just curious. Nope. Let's just see. I bet one is thicker than this, so let's see. It'd be nice if they would let you do decimals for a little more precision, but whatever. Could always just make it bigger. I imagine if I did a higher resolution, then that would result in a thicker line. Let's try that. Let's just do a test here at 240 by 240, and then I'll up it probably to 2400 by 2400 and see if that changes the line thickness. Little experiment for us here, and then I do my final render, and this should go super quick because it's tiny and my computer is really badass. Logo sketch PNG cannot be found. What? Logo sketch PNG cannot be found. Why would I need this? No, I don't want to find a replacement. I don't know why I would need that. is going to render. Looks like, okay, it's over here. That's janky. Alright, so that line is about as thick as I want it proportionally. Obviously, this resolution is way low. And so let's see if I do it much higher. It's 2400. Go back into my options, scale it up, make it 10 times bigger. You saw that render was super quick though. Watch how quick this one is. I mean, and this is a laptop. It's a pretty impressive laptop. It's basically the best I could find. Or the best value high end that I could find. What is this? Why am I not seeing my render window? Is it not rendering? No, it was not rendering. Alright, so it's zoomed out pretty far, obviously, because, well, no, maybe not. So I'm 3840 by 2160, and it's 2400 by 2400. Yeah, so I'm about 50% scale on this render here, on this preview. You know, typically I would pause the video and come back for this, but it's really not going to take very long, I don't think. I say that. It is going to take a bit, but I'll just it's not long. You can fast forward it if you really hate it. It's interesting to see how quick this goes. And I don't remember, I'm not sure what I put for the quality setting. I don't like that it put these tangent lines here. Did it always do that? And I don't like this reflection. So this is not cool. Oh, I have to turn my lights off. I need to turn the background reflections off in my settings. So I'm going to abort this. So I'm glad I watched it. Well, maybe not. You're not glad you watched it. But anyway, well, at least you get to see why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if I go back into options, I don't think this is where it is. No. I think it's in scene options. Scene. Background. That's off. I think it's the environmental reflections. Let's see. Floor shadow off. Edit scene. No. Okay, where's my I'm gonna close this guy for now. It's just slow me down, if anything. Why do I not see my options? Edit scene. What? Fine. It's going to make me change the background, and I'm just going to edit in here and then change it back anyway. Background. No, color. Color black. Okay. And where are reflections? Where are the reflections? Lighting. Scene reflectivity. I guess I can just put this to 0. Background brightness 0. Rendering brightness 1. This might do it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to change the resolution to something in between. Let's see how this does. Did I not hit final render again? Oh, it is. Okay. I don't know why that is a different color. That is not cool. I'm getting a reflection still. I don't want reflections. Stop giving me reflections. Ah. Oh. That material is probably highly reflective. Let's, but even still. Well, anyway, I'm going to edit this material. And I'm going to, if I go into advanced and illumination, reflection amount, real view only. That doesn't make sense. But I'm still going to put it to 0. Luminous intensity, 0. Okay, evidently I had given that some luminous intensity as well. Let's try it again. Let's see what we got. Now this one, it should be, it's, I don't know why this rendering it. Oh, it is at 100%, never mind. That's changing colors on me. Not cool. I may not be able to do this via render, and I also don't like what it's doing in these corners here. I don't like that. Can I change my edge width? I don't think so, but let's see. Let's get rid of this. Alt T P enter. I mean, it's possible. So like if I go to edges in shaded with edges mode. Yeah, I can change the color, but it looks like I can't change the thickness. How can I do that? One thing I can do is turn off tangent edges. Alt TP enter. I think I can. Display. Oh, I'm just going to search for it. Tangent. Ah, it's right here. Removed. It is removed. It's shown in render. Part assembly. How about drawings, tangent edges, sketch, relations tangent, image quality, document properties. No. How can I, maybe if I edit, what's this light doing? Rendering brightness, background brightness 0, rendering brightness 1. Why does it insist on lighting from the top? Okay, I spared you a minute of trouble there. But this is an interesting outcome. I turned the render brightness to 0, and it gave me that. So maybe there's a happy medium in there somewhere. If I go edit, no, that was in lighting, right? I guess if I, well, wait, let's see here. Off in SolidWorks. Edit light. Can I turn this on in? No. Hmm. I don't know why it insists on doing this. I mean, what if I did 3? I'm just out of curiosity. Final render. Oh, maybe that takes care of me. Huh. I still don't like that it puts these tangent edges here. Yeah, it's shading here. This E should be all the same color. It is shading. I don't want it to be shaded. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe. Excuse me, maybe if I go options. That's not what options, that's final render. Yes, I want to abort. If I go options, and then I do select my edges, but only my edges, and is output ambient occlusion? Is that what I want? Oh, wait a minute. Contour or cartoon? Cartoon edges. Cartoon shading. Cartoon edges and shading. Let's see what this outputs. Not very useful. Alright, I am back. I just had the weirdest thing happen in SolidWorks here, and I do not know what is going on. If I switch back, so I reverted back to my backup copy, which luckily I saved before I started changing things too much. And if I change to this one, for some reason I lost all my color. Whatever I change, if anybody knows how to use SolidWorks, I thought I knew how to use SolidWorks, but if I just change my background color, that doesn't do anything because that's in render. But if I go Alt-T-P enter and I go to my colors and I change use background color above, it's like everything is completely matched to the background color in this file. And I mean, I've deleted the scene, I've edited lights, I've turned down the ambient, I've turned up the ambient. I am at a loss here. If I go edit scene, I'm going to turn off the reflections here because I always do, and that makes no difference, no big surprise. If I say edit scene, and it says to get in there I have to tell it to change the background to the scene, and this also I say no and it doesn't let me in. So then I say this. I think this is kind of what got me in trouble in the first place. I still don't even know what. I'm not going to try to solve it here. I'm just sharing this weirdness here. So if I go edit scene and then I say yes because I know it's going to make me. I mean, I still lost all my color on all these stuff. But if I go edit them, they're correct. Edit scene advanced, and that's nothing there that should affect the colors of things. Background is currently an image. I can change it to a color and it's not going to matter. I can make it whatever color I want. It's not going to matter. I can just still see like all of the color is the same. Keep background, doesn't seem to change anything. Basic background color. Oh, so we're just, well, I'm confused. That's where I just was. Yeah. So none of that should change anything. scene file. I mean, I don't know if that's not going to do anything. And so it's very strange. And even if I go to my display states, that also doesn't change anything. If I say, what color is this? It doesn't matter what color I make it. It's like if I get rid of that, nothing changes. I think I broke the file. I don't think there is anything. Like if I change to that, let's see if I hit render. Did I lose my, where'd my render tools go? Somehow I lost my render tools. Oh, because I restarted SolidWorks, that's why. See if that would fix it. It did not. Render tools. Final render. Just gets all goofy. Continue as is. Don't need that. Okay, interestingly, it's rendering correctly. Oh, and I'm in the other, that's interesting. Now, ultimately my problem was that I could not get it to render without shading. And so I'm giving up on the rendering, and I'm trying to go back to before rendering, and it's just, I lost all my color on my viewport. I'm not, did I change? Is that stupid? Stupid. That's all it was. How did that get changed? I swear I didn't change that. Alright, I feel stupid now. Not sure how that got changed on me. Is my imagination, is there a little highlight there? I want no highlights. There we go. Well, that does look highlighted. Is this, let me make sure I don't have any luminosity. I did find that on the sea I had some various reflectivity and things. I go into advanced illumination, no luminous intensity. Huh. Well, I'm going to 145, and that is the feature. And so I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to create a new, just to see if I can get rid of that shine. Look at it, it's shining here too. Oh, my ambient lighting. I forgot I turned that down to try to figure it out. Edit light. Should be 1. And I need to delete these two lights here. Okay. Now I'm tempted to try it again. Let's reflections, background brightness 0. Scene reflectivity 0. Advanced. Basic. Background color. See, I swear this is where it went wrong when I hit black here. Okay, looking good actually. I'm not confident that if I render this, it's going to be what I want. And I already know I'm going to get these little edge lines here that I already don't like. But I'm curious to see now. So if I say final render, stop showing me that. Let's see. I mean, if this actually worked, that'd be cool, but I'd be surprised. Yeah, see, it's still shading, and I don't want it shaded. I want it solid colors. So for whatever reason, I can't get it to render without shading, and people may be saying, duh, that's what rendering is. And okay, that's fine. I just was hoping that I could do it otherwise. Evidently not. So, I still wonder why that the coloring went to outlines. Oh. Okay. Alright, so I just need to save this. I wish these tangent lines also were not there. Actually, those aren't tangent lines, are they? They are just because the font is not smooth. I could redo that. I don't care that much. It's going to be fine. So, I am just going to screenshot. Screenshot. Alright. This concludes this portion of the tutorial. Stay tuned for the slicer action, where I actually slice it up. So I have all the colors as I want them in order to generate the next generate the 3D from the 2D, and I just did a screenshot for the 2D, and so I'm going to end this here, and I will continue in the next part where I will manipulate the slice, and I'll generate the 3D from the 2D and interrogate the slice file or the slice info to determine what layers to change my filaments at. So thanks for watching and stay tuned. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please consider sharing it with your friends, and or otherwise helping people to find it by clicking the thumbs up and commenting, and consider subscribing. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks again.